Thank you for tuning in as we continue our discussion about the value of pre-placement health screening to boost worker health and safety. Last time we talked about the importance of drug testing before someone begins working, as well as the value of creating criteria that outlines the physical demands of a job. So what can you do as an employer to make sure you're making a good work environment fit? Stay tuned and we will continue our discussion.
Welcome to this episode of Workplace Health, Improving Employee Health and Productivity, with President of Workplace Health, Inc., Shauna Dunbar.
Okay, so now you've established the functional job descriptions. Remember, these are the criteria beyond what training and experience you seek in a candidate, but established functional criteria of what the worker will be required to do in this particular job. Once we have established the criteria, then we can see if this particular candidate can perform these functions. Isn't that really what we want to know? I'd like to believe no worker wants to be put into a situation that they cannot physically handle, but candidates do not always understand what is required of them. I mean, they may not really understand what the job functions are all about, but you as the employer do. It is in the best interest of you and the candidate to determine if this will be a good worker job fit. So how can we do this? Well, certainly in the interview process, you can find out if the candidate has performed similar work activities. It's a good idea to ask open-ended questions about the previous job functions that they performed. You can show them the form that you have now developed, outlining the physical requirements of the job, and ask if they can see any reason why they cannot perform all of these essential functions that you've outlined. Then, what are the next steps? Well, often employers will require the candidate to have a post-offer physical exam. The physical exam should consist of two parts: a comprehensive medical history and a physical examination. The medical history can be as much as 80% of a good exam. As a provider looking out for the health and safety of this individual, it is important to identify anything in the current history that can impact on the job in question. For example, let's say the candidate has asthma. In a lot of jobs, this is probably not even an issue. But let's say this person is to be hired in an environment that gets rather dusty. Nothing major that requires respiratory protection, but a typical dusty environment. For us without asthma, it may be no big deal. But for the person with asthma, especially one who has dust as a trigger for an attack, well, you can see how that could be asking for trouble. I hope we have been able to shed some more light on how a pre-placement health screening can help your company. Please join us next time as we continue to discuss the value of a pre-placement health screening.
Thank you for watching Workplace Health. For more great information, visit www.workplacehealthinc.com. Also, browse the other shows found right here at Northeast Ohio Biz TV Shows.